You said that aircraft carriers are obsolete in this age of modern warfare. However, isn't aircraft carrier important part of blue water navy, extending the range of attack for a country, using it against another country? As for their threat of submarines, can't a pair of anti-submarine corvettes be employed along the carriers, and aircraft carriers can be protected by missiles by using anti-air missiles through VLS systems present in aircraft carriers itself? You know what? All nice and good hypothetically. When was the last time an aircraft carrier was attacked, was caught in open combat? When was the last time this happened? During the Vietnam War, or in the run up to the Vietnam War? It was an American aircraft carrier that had to face enemy fire. What happened? It was decimated and destroyed. After that, no aircraft carrier has actually come under enemy fire. Yeah. Aircraft carriers are nice when you have overwhelming superiority and no real threats. For instance, let's look at a different platform. The so-called, not the so-called, the drones. The Americans have the Predator drone and the Reaper drone and all that loiter about 10 kilometers up in the sky. Nobody can see it, nobody can hear it, and they rain down missiles on terrorists and all that. They do it with impunity because they don't face any threat. If somebody had the wherewithal to fire an anti-aircraft missile at that thing, it would not stand a chance. So there are certain weapon systems that work brilliantly when there is no threat to them. These drones, the Predator drone, the Reaper drone, they don't stand a chance if an anti-aircraft missile is fired at them. So the Americans use them on nations where there is no such system of air defense. They use that in Afghanistan, in Pakistan. The Pakistanis allowed that. Had the Pakistanis fired anti-aircraft missiles at these drones, those drones would have been blown out of the sky. Similarly, when it comes to aircraft carriers, the last time an aircraft carrier came under fire was many, many decades ago. It is just a mathematical calculation of how to destroy an aircraft carrier. Yes, you can defend aircraft carriers with anti-missile missiles. Yeah, you can have a whole ring of destroyers around an aircraft carrier which carry these missiles and try to safeguard it. It's just a question of numbers. Let's say you have 5 destroyers. Each carries 50 missiles. That's 250 missiles. So each of these missiles can, let's say, take down an incoming missile, which means that if you fire 250 missiles at the aircraft carrier, those missiles will be intercepted and destroyed, assuming 100% interception rate. So all you have to do to destroy the aircraft carrier is fire 251 missiles. It's just a mathematical calculation. That's all. Eventually your missile defenses will run out. That's how it is. And not every nation can afford to have so many missiles in defense of an aircraft carrier and to place so many destroyers around in order to defend an aircraft carrier. And it's even easier to destroy an aircraft carrier with a nuke. All you have to do is detonate a nuke 10 kilometers away or 5 kilometers away, far away from the range of the incoming missiles. And the nuclear explosion will disable all the ships. It's so easy to take out an aircraft carrier, you have no idea. Aircraft carriers are massive, slow-moving, lucrative targets. I mean, just imagine the effect on a nation's morale if a $10 billion aircraft carrier is destroyed. It's such an incredibly large investment, right? And the Americans have aircraft carriers that cost $10 billion plus dollars. In the case of India, our aircraft carriers cost $4-5 billion. That's a huge amount of money. You can acquire 100 missile boats for the same cost. Each missile boat can have 3 missiles on it, BrahMos missiles. That's 300 missiles. And you can deploy it over a wide extent of the Indian Ocean. That's how you make the Indian Ocean your strategic backyard. Or you could acquire submarines for that cost. You can acquire a high-class submarine, high-quality submarine for $100 million. There are certain submarines that you can acquire for just $100 million. So you could acquire 40 or 50 submarines for the cost of one aircraft carrier. Just imagine how much lethality you're gaining for that. So I know people will not agree with me. People will say that I am an armchair general or whatever. You don't agree with me? Well, other people have said the same thing. On this channel, Dr. Edward Luttwak, one of the greatest geostrategists of all time, he came on this channel and he said the same thing, that the aircraft carrier is obsolete. That guy knows what he is talking about. He has seen action in wars, he has designed weapons, he has advised prime ministers and presidents in a variety of nations. He still does that actively. He knows what he's talking about. He came on this channel, he spoke with me for more than an hour. He said the same thing. Aircraft carriers are obsolete. The aircraft carrier was the principal ship of the 20th century. In the 21st century, the principal ship of any navy is the submarine. Submarines are far more dangerous. They are invisible, very hard to detect, and they can be lethal, and they can take out aircraft carriers. You can place a nuclear warhead on a torpedo and detonate it 1 kilometer below an aircraft carrier. And just imagine what it will do to the aircraft carrier. So that's why I say this, that aircraft carriers are obsolete. You can put as many arguments as you want. I can destroy all the arguments. We need to stop investing in these incredibly expensive white elephants. Learn the lessons from the Russia-Ukraine conflict. Quantity has a quality of its own. Don't concentrate your lethality. Distribute your lethality widely. That's what we need to do. But unfortunately, our planners and whoever it is still stuck in the 20th century mindset. I don't know what it will take to change this. Maybe a war. Wars are not always bad things. I'm not in favor of wars, but sometimes you need that to wake you up. I don't know. I wish that there is no war ever, but we need to wake up and we need to enter and embrace the 21st century. Right now, we are still stuck in the 20th century mindset, unfortunately.